Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. In a little update today, Opposition MP Stuart Young have stated that the government cannot rely on a state of emergency as its strategy to fight crime. He was speaking today ahead of the debate to extend the SOE for another 3 months. Listen to this.
But there has been no justification. You can't use a state of emergency as a crime plan, and it is clear that's what they're doing. And there is no accountability for it whatsoever. The Prime Minister has not come before the media and taken questions for over a year. That is not how you operate in a democratic country, and operating and governing via tweet or Facebook posts is simply unacceptable.
So viewers, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has since defended her government's move to seek a 3-month extension of the SOE emergency. Now, insisting the measures is temporary but necessary to protect citizens from violent crime after she described as decades of bloodshed and insecurity. So Trinidad and Tobago, do we support an extension of the SOE? I want to hear from you tonight. Also, another update for you. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles wants to know how did the Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar come to the conclusion that citizens are supportive of the state of emergency. Listen to this.
So on today's papers where the Prime Minister indicated that the people are supporting the extension of the SOE, I don't know how the Prime Minister arrived at that conclusion. I mean, we understand the crime situation in the country. I don't think anybody would say as a Trinidadian and at the beginning that we're not concerned about crime. But there's a whole different scenario. I mean, this is now going to be another extension. And the issue still remains, what is the government's crime plan? What is the government's strategy to treat the crime?
So viewers, she noted that the PM must show statistics when claiming that there was a reduction in crime. Beckles also questioned why Prime Minister was not making herself available for questions by the media.
And therefore, and what's the data? I mean, it's one thing for you to tell us that you have a reduction in crime, but what's the data? I mean, if you go on the police website, I think the average citizen must be able to have the kind of information where you too, if you want to make an analysis, you will see there have been X amount of murders, there have been serious crimes, down, and that the government is telling us that you have a strategy. That doesn't exist. I mean, we cannot ignore the fact that the Prime Minister is not doing what I am doing. The Prime Minister is not making herself available and accessible to the media.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the opposition further noted that state of emergency is not a crime plan. She wants us to know it is not a crime plan. So my question to you tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, do you agree with the Prime Minister that many citizens are in support of an extension of the state of emergency? Let's hear from you tonight. Trinidad and Tobago, 238-6716. Feel free to call in the program and give your voice. Also, another update. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has outlined her government strategy for strengthening child protection. PNM Chief Whip Marvin Gonzalez questioned the PM to say what measures was the government taking to strengthen the support protection service for children following recent criminal incidents against children in Trinidad and Tobago. However, the PM stated that the PNM government had their opportunity but failed after 10 years. Listen to this.
Honourable Speaker, I continue to be astonished by the temerity of those on the other side. Today, very concerned about our nation's children. because when they had the opportunity to do so, to take care of the children for the past 10 years, they failed so to do. And even after that 10 years, in this last session of this Parliament, they failed to support children. They failed to support the children's life.
So viewers, she stated that her administration has adopted a whole of government approach. Not half, a whole government approach. Listen to this one more time.
However, my government is fully committed to protecting our nation's children. We have adopted a whole of government approach to safeguarding children. We have strengthened collaboration amongst the Children's Authority, the TTPS, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of the People and Social Development and Family Services to ensure that vulnerable children are identified earlier and protected more effectively. We have accelerated efforts to strengthen children protection systems, improve case management, and enhance information sharing amongst agencies so that warning signs do not fall through the cracks. We are also working to increase frontline capacity within agencies responsible for child welfare and family support, recognizing that prevention begins long before a crisis occurs. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So viewers, we go to the Maxi Taxi Division now. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar have stated that there was no nationwide Maxi Taxi strike, calling the majority of drivers hard-working citizens. Listen to this.
First of all, Mr. Speaker, there was no nationwide shutdown. Again, I repeat, no nationwide shutdown of any transport services at this time. The vast majority of maxi taxi operators are decent, hard-working individuals and they ensure our loved ones are taken to our schools, their homes and workplaces safely. Based on their essential services, my government is committed to addressing their concerns, which those on the other side ignored for 10 years.
So viewers, she noted that her government is committed to dialogue with all stakeholders and drivers. So viewers, in the coming days, in the coming months, expect her government to communicate with the maxi taxi, with the taxi, with probably the PH drivers. Hopefully there should be something in place for those PH drivers. But listen to this, viewers.
And so the Minister of Transport, as he has done over the last year, will continue to work, consult and engage all stakeholders involved in our national transportation services in the national interest. For 10 years, the former administration was tone deaf. They refused any meaningful dialogue with stakeholders. We on this side continue to remain open to listening to the concerns and acting where and what is needed. So we will continue to dialogue and have consultations with those involved in the sector.
So trying to go into our current affairs segment. Minister of Finance Devendra Tanku is assuring citizens that no new taxes are contained in the Finance Bill 2026. You see, Trinidad and Tobago, we must understand something. There is a difference between taxes and increased fines. Now, many of us have been saying is new taxes, is new taxes, is new taxes. It is not no new tax. It is an increase in the fine that is already there. It is already existing. So you all must understand before you just go out on social media and just blast. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But stupidity and dumbness, it is a serious thing. You need to understand that. That is why I am here night after night to educate you all, so you will know the difference if you don't understand. But nevertheless, the minister gave the assurance in the House of Representatives on Wednesday as he accused the opposition, PNM, of blunt mischief and misinformation. Listen to this, viewers.
The opposition has already tried to make mischief with this bill. Those opposite have told the country that this finance bill is about tax, tax and more tax. Nothing, Mr. Speaker, nothing could be further from the truth. And they celebrate their misinformation, Mr. Speaker. So let me begin by addressing the mischief of the PNM, Mr. Speaker. There are 31 clauses in this bill, Mr. Speaker, and not a single new tax that any citizen has to pay. You are misinforming the population. It's mischief.
So you see, citizen, we must understand when a new tax is implemented and when a increase is fine is implemented. We must understand this. Now, he stated that only new pieces of legislation would be companies involved in drilling operation. The minister added that the tax relief will soon come to pensioners, retirement plans for protective service members, and support to women, among others. Listen to this, viewers.
The only new introduction of a fiscal regime, Mr. Speaker, is for companies involved in drilling operations in marginal fields and who must now pay to the Treasury the country's part of the shares and proceeds. In other clauses of this bill, we are providing tax relief for pensioners. We are providing retirement benefits for members of the protective services. We are providing for the ease of filing documents. We are providing targeted support to women and girls and for those who would support them. We are providing protection to law-abiding citizens. And in one instance, we are even reducing taxes, Mr. Speaker.
So viewers, Tanku has assured that the government's landlord business surcharge is designed to improve tax compliance while protecting law-abiding landlord from unfair double taxation. He rejected claims that the surcharge is similar to the former property tax, stressing that it only applies to individuals earning rental income from properties and not homeowners living in their own residence. Trinidad and Tobago, remember I was telling you that? So viewers, there is a difference.
As you and the rest of the population well know, the PNM property tax was based on imaginary rental income, where tens of thousands of persons who were not renting their homes were being threatened that if they did not pay this rental tax, they would lose their property to the state. That was the PNM property tax. The landlord business surcharge does not touch the pensioner living in the home they built over the years who is not earning an income from rent. The surcharge only applies to persons who are renting out their property. Only if they are earning an income does this surcharge apply to them, Mr. Speaker. Totally opposite to the PNM fake tax.
Now you understand what I have been telling you? There is a difference. PNM implemented a new tax, property tax. That was a new tax. That is not an increased fine, that is a new tax. What the UNC administration did, they removed the tax from your personal home and place it on landlords. Because Clongenberg never put a proper rental tax on landlords because he had buildings renting out. That is why. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, you will understand as we go along this program. It is time now that I say we must go for a commercial break, but stay locked on, there's much more to come.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So Trinidad and Tobago, remember, Real Talk Financing is offering you 7% on our fixed deposit for this month. Where are you going to get more money on a fixed deposit in Trinidad and Tobago other than Real Talk Financing? I'm going to tell you something. It has people coming from the US. Today we had a client from the US came down to Trinidad and made an investment. Imagine that, you know? Fly into Trinidad just to make an investment and go back home. So we not only in Trinidad, people all around the world listening. So viewers, remember, you have worked hard for your cash. It is in the bank, and times are getting harder. and you are looking for extra income. So the only best thing to do is to contact me, 267-7325, find out about the 7% and the interest up front, what we at Real Talk Finance is offering, and bring your money, get your interest, and live comfortable. Now this is money, Trinidad and Tobago, this is money that you don't have to wait for at the end of your contract. You're getting your interest up front, and now with 7%, Trinidad and Tobago, you can't afford to miss out this 7%. Trust me, you can't afford to. Also, Real Talk Equipment Rental, Trinidad and Tobago, have some excavator for sale. They're also in the rental of equipment business. So if you are a contractor, or you have some work to do around your house, or a piece of land to excavate or to grade down, you can contact me 238-6716, or you can contact the office at 267-7325. Trinidad and Tobago, remember us at Real Talk Financing. Remember us at Real Talk Equipment as remember you. So back into our news tonight. You have a call on the line. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program as usual, man. You're doing such a great job. You explained that property tax and the other tax, which is also connected to property. You explained that very well. But I tell you, today, sensible people, there are people in this country, part of our population, who don't care. Nothing bothers them. They're not interested.
True.
They live day to day, and that's okay. But there are many people, significant amount of people in this country who are sensible, intelligent like yourself, and many others who are very concerned. So when you listen to the Prime Minister, Kamala is talking about children, and she loves children. Hell no, they love nobody. They love their pocket, they love their bank account, and they love going to the treasury to take our money. So you heard Tanku is talking about pension again. He come there and he talking the whole letter there in Parliament. He talking about pension. He put a spin on it in the budget last year, but he's talking about pensioners not going to pay any taxes on the pension. That is not so. They put a big spin on it. So now they say, remember, they say if you invest in a pension plan, well, we're not going to tax that, right? But that is money you're earning. Your interest on your pension plan is money you're earning. So your property that you sacrifice, you're wet in the rain, you eat half a roti on morning, that your day, to build your house, and you say, boy, if I rent out part of it now, I'm going to use that money and continue to build my house because I can't get a loan, I can't get a government job, and I have to fight it. So I rent out part of my house now to help me build to continue my structure. And you now come there and tell me you're going to tax it. That is denying me enjoyment of the earnings from my property. It is just like property tax. You deny me the enjoyment of my property, what I earn from it. So you come and you put a whole spin on, and Tanku is talking about no new taxes. Mr. Said, I mean, you intelligent, you just follow up these things, current affairs, you know. They're going to tax the man who is making a few bottles of coconut oil now. They're going to tax his $7,000. There's a new tax for the man who is making a little coconut oil, and that is why they wanted Zozo, so they could have come to your house when they see Copra. They would say, hey, what you doing? You making oil? You have to pay $7,000. So if you have 10 coconut trees and using that to bring in some income for you, they're going to tax that $7,000. And if you have a 15 cocoa tree and you want to make a chocolate and sell it for your neighbor and sell for the little grocery right around by you, they're going to have $7,000 here. That's what they're explaining to the citizens, but are intelligent citizens in this country who is understanding like yourself. And every day you come out here and you educating the citizens. Well, we can't stay silent. Citizens can't stay silent on these things. So all the hoodwink and lies, they continue. Stop it and come to the citizens. It will do you all better than anything else, because nothing they produce today to the citizen has any truth in it. And when you look with this police and fire service and prison, Mr. Said, I will explain that another night. They could take a constable and put him to act as an inspector, you know. You I tell you, and after 12 months, they say he was acting in that station and acting there. You don't know how dangerous it is. You are citizens, so many citizens that don't care, but they have to understand. So if the superintendent or the assistant commissioner have a nephew who who's a nobody in the police, so if we have plenty, they could put him as a sergeant. I say he was acting there for the last 3 years as a sergeant. He do no exam, he paid the examining board nothing. So he going to know when he reach age, retire, he get a full benefits, gratuity, and pension. No man, and you coming to tax me? No, that can't be right in this country. We must demand an election right now.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. So Minister of Finance, Devendranath Tanku, has highlighted the amendments to the Custom Act today in the House of Representatives, saying that TNT must not allow its market to become a destination for goods that violates human rights. Listen to this, viewers.
Clause 24 amends the Customs Act. It prohibits the importation of goods in whole or in part by forced labor when designated by the minister with responsibility for trade. Trinidad and Tobago must not allow our market to become a destination for goods produced in conditions that violate human rights. This clause, Mr. Speaker, places the law on the side of ethical trade and aligns our customs regime with global efforts to combat forced labor.
So viewers, he added that the amendment laws prohibit the importation of goods in whole or part by forced labor, aligning Trinidad and Tobago with global effort against forced labor. Listen one more time.
Mr. Speaker, this issue has become a very prevalent topic over the last decade. It is to the credit of this administration that we brought this legislation today, when the former administration spent 10 years talking the talk and never walked the walk, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, promise made, promise kept.
Tanku also stated that the member for Degomartin Northeast, Clongenberg, made a dangerous statement by condemning the government for the increase in fines for breaking the law under the Motor Vehicle Launch Act, the Motor Launch Act. Tanku urged and also argued that the increase in fines are meant to protect citizens and have business regulators comply with the law. So Trinidad and Tobago, speeding on the nation roads is a very serious thing. We have some fellas who would just come out with their vehicle and decide, you know what, we're going down the highway 140 miles per hour. You don't care about nobody else? You ain't care about nobody else? I just be on the highway every single day, 70, 80 miles per hour, and sometimes I would see some vehicles passing me. I swear to God, it's almost 180, 190 them going with. So I just want to know if that is the only child for the mother and father, or this individual have no mother, no father, no husband, no wife. So I just wonder. Because I know when I leave home, somebody expecting me to come back home. Their expectations are high. Some of them I just wonder, well, oh my God. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, nevertheless, sometimes we just have to wonder. So, switching gears a bit, the Ministry of Homeland Security has detected its psychosocial intervention and educational engagement initiative to 12 years old Mercedes Lynn and other child victim of crime. Ministry Director of Policy and Community Support, Saieed Ali, noted that the psychosocial intervention and educational engagement initiative is essential to addressing crime and other criminality in the country. He explained that the program seeks to reach out to young people at a time when they need it the most. Listen to this, viewers.
I would like to dedicate this to her and all children who would have lost their lives through crime and criminality, demonstrating and signaling that their passing, their demise, must not be left without a response. And I want to take this opportunity to dedicate these interventions. Perhaps the students that we engage will be students that will not contribute to crime and criminality, but would contribute to positivity in Trinidad and Tobago.
So viewers, founder of the St. James Police Youth Club, Derek, also described the program as a necessary and long overdue step, noting that crime cannot be tackled by law enforcement alone.
Joining hands, a collective effort, I think, offers well in terms of reaching young people. This is proactive, it is not reactive. It is a part of a plan, a deliberative plan to make sure to address young people thinking, giving them a sense of awe, a sense of purpose, a sense of value.
Trinidad and Tobago, this initiative, as they say, it's long overdue. We're supposed to have something in place for children. The Children Authority supposed to be, let me tell you something, one of the high active group in our country today looking after children. But where are they? We hardly even hear about them. Hardly. Who's in charge of social development? How we are not hearing about the Children Authority? Are they active? What are the plans that they are bringing forth? We haven't heard from them in a long time. Sometimes I just wonder, yes? Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on, more to come.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Remember 7% finance? You can't get nothing better than that. 7% at Real Talk Finance in Trinidad and Tobago. Where are you going to get that? More money in your pocket. Imagine that, eh? But nevertheless, President of the Prison Officers Association, Jared Gordon, have stated that chronic staffing shortage within prison system are undermining officers. The ability to prevent violence and protect inmates following the killing of a prisoner at the maximum security prison in Aruka. Speaking after the death of 48-year-old Christopher Banfield, Gordon described the incident as tragic and said inadequate manpower continue to affect security across prison facilities. Inadequate manpower continues to affect the security across prison facilities. So Trinidad and Tobago, is there a shortage? If there's a shortage, why are they not recruiting prison officers? Why are they not recruiting prison officers? Ask yourself that, Trinidad and Tobago. He said, staffing level within the prison service remains far from optimal, limiting officers' ability to intervene before incidents escalate. Listen to this.
Given the current constraints that we have, our ability to interrupt, intercept, and prevent these things is very much compromised. That is what I will say to that question.
So Trinidad and Tobago, he explained, prison facilities are typically placed on lockdown from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., during which officers remain at designated posts. Officers from the Aruka Police Station and the Regional 2 Homicide Bureau visited the prison and intervened in Banfield cellmate. His body was taken to a funeral home pending a post-mortem examination as investigations continue. So Trinidad and Tobago, lack of prison officers in the prison system. What are we going to do for that? What are we going to do for that? But nevertheless, in another case, Ministry of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, is praising the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, for its rapid response and leadership in strengthening regional health system, particularly during global health threats like Ebola and hantavirus. Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Lakram said, rapid information sharing remains one of the most critical tools in preventing outbreaks, pointing to specifically CARPHA response during a recent Ebola threat in certain parts of the world. He praises the agency for ensuring governments receive timely and updated data when matters most. Listen to this, viewers.
The most advanced surveillance system in the world cannot succeed if information is not shared in a rapid manner. And I have to commend CARPHA in this regard for sharing information in such a rapid manner. And I'm speaking, of course, of the Ebola threat, and that information is being shared quickly and updated, and we're grateful for that as a government.
So viewers, Bodo also commended CAFA, a broader leadership in development regional system to detect and respond to threat early. Listen to this now.
72 hours after the activation of the most recent Ebola outbreak affecting Central and East Africa, the Tourism Health Information System was highlighted as a potential detection mechanism for monitoring travel health in these evolving times. These are concrete examples of CARFA's innovation, resourcefulness, and impact.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Bodo said, these efforts are critical as the region works towards stronger, more coordinated system to respond to future health threats. Regional Director at the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, Dr. Yoran Grant, also praised CAFA for its impact in assisting government and population in improving their readiness. One more time, viewers.
I want to take a moment to commend CAFA's leadership and continued commitment to the development of regional integrated early warning surveillance system, an innovative suite of digital integrated surveillance tools and mechanisms, laboratory and workforce development for transforming emergency preparedness and response in the Caribbean.
So viewers, we're switching gears a bit. We're going to the Ministry of Labor. Minister of Labor, Small and Micro Enterprise Development, Leroy Batiste, have stated that protecting workers in an evolution, in an evolving or evolution in a job market, while advancing the use of artificial intelligence remain a key priority for the government. The minister recently addressed the role of AI in shaping and strengthening the local labor market at the International Labour Organization, that is the ILO conference in Switzerland. Batiste said, as these countries continue to adopt the ethical use of artificial intelligence for the advancement of labor market, it is also ensuring that relevant policies are in place to guarantee no one is left behind. Listen to this.
The future of work will be shaped not by algorithms alone, but by the values, policies, and institutions we choose to uphold. Recently, the Retrenchment and Severance Benefits Amendment Bill was passed in the Senate, aimed at ensuring that persons who face redundancy for various reasons, including technological change, are afforded terminal benefits. Additionally, the ministry will soon launch a national employment online network platform, NEON, allowing persons wide access to its employment services.
He boasted that though the Ministry of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence, the government is advancing a digital transformation agenda with the development of a local innovation ecosystem. Listen to this, viewers.
It is our responsibility to understand that AI is not the objective. AI is a tool to achieve the objective of creating a better standard of living for all. The government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago stands ready to work with our social partners, with the ILO, and with the international community to ensure that AI becomes a useful tool in realizing social justice and decent work for all.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, now that the Minister of Labour, Small and Micro Enterprise Development is moving towards artificial intelligence, I want to ask them, are they setting up classes anywhere in Trinidad and Tobago so that individuals could go and learn about AI, artificial intelligence? This is what I want to ask them. Are they setting up schools? Are they going to introduce it in schools? This is something that the Ministry of Education should look into. An extra curriculum in education. Since we are heading in that direction, in the age of technology, maybe they should introduce it in school and see how it goes from there. So Trinidad and Tobago, but he's also called on the ILO to prioritize small island development state in its effort to address worsening inequalities as it strives to build an equitable and sustainable future for work. So I guess the Minister of Education needs to implement something in school now. Because if we are talking about AI in the workplace, let's talk about AI training in the school. It's a tool. Let's give them that tool in school. So when they finish the school, they will be fit to know how this tool, AI, function. And it would even be better for them in the workplace. Because part of their curriculum would be artificial intelligence. Maybe a subject by itself. So it's time now that the ministry look into that, and maybe next year, 2027, they could implement it in the school curriculum. That would be an amazing thing. Also, viewers, we're going to do some international news now. So listen to this carefully. 4 Caribbean community nationals, including a Trinidadian, are among 17 foreigners against whom the Department of Justice say it has failed denationalization action in various U.S. district courts, accusing them of serious offense, including sexual abuse of minors, wire and bank fraud, distribution of drugs, wholesale without a license. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, citizenship may be revoked and a certificate of naturalization cancelled if the naturalization was illegal proceedings or procedure by cancellation of material. Now Trinidad and Tobago, these individuals are being posted back to their country, and they're going to lose their citizenship. Some Caribbean nationals are from Jamaica, some from Trinidad, some from Tobago, and some from Haiti. So they are all going to lose what they have. So viewers, say lockdown, we are going for a short commercial break. Go get your coffee and come back.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, I just want to reiterate on some points here, some very strong points. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has outlined her government's strategy for strengthening child protection. PNM Chief Whip Marvin Gonzalez questioned the PM to say what measures was the government taking to strengthen the support, protection, service for children. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to understand this. Marvin is asking the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, what support are they going to use to strengthen the protection service for children? Now, I want to ask Marvin, for the 10 years or the 9 years you have been in power in Trinidad and Tobago, what did your government put in place? You see, I'm going to tell you something, Marvin. You want to question the present Prime Minister, but what did your Prime Minister put in place? You see, if you all put something in place, this Prime Minister, this UNC administration would not have to now put something in place. And there have been children being murdered, children being battered, children being raped in the last 10 years. And we haven't heard what the PNM administration put in place. So what I would like now for Marvin to come out in the public domain and tell Trinidad and Tobago what did the PNM put in place for the children in the last 9 years gone by. What the Child Protection Unit put in place for the last 9 years that went by. Because I can tell you something, for the last 9 years there have been numerous murders, numerous rape, abuse of children. And we didn't hear anything. We didn't hear anything from the PNM. We didn't hear what they put in place. We didn't hear what legislation they bring forward. We didn't hear what new building they're going and build. We heard nothing. But today, Marvin Gonzalez is questioning the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, as to what her government is going to put in place. And this is what I don't understand. You was there for 9 long, solid years. 9 years. But today you want to question a government on what they are going to put. What did Beckles have to say about this now? What does Beckles have to say about this now? What is, she quick to talk. Recently, KSC, they had big candlelight vigil in Sawa. Did they break the law? Did they break the law? How we didn't see no police there? How we didn't see no riot squad there that night? So I'm going to say this. If the citizens go to protest, the riot squad coming out. But when the opposition is there, it is all well and good. It is all well and good. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, what can Beckles say, seeing that she's the leader of the PNM administration now? What can she say that for the last 9 years, her government put in place? Did they upgrade the child protection service? Did they bring out new legislation for individuals who abuse children? This is what I want to hear. This is what I want to know. I want to know what they put in place for the last 9 years. Since Marvin loved the question, why Marvin no ask Beckles that? Let me tell you something. Child abuse didn't start today, Children being murdered didn't start today, Abandonment of kids, it did not start today. It's an ongoing thing. Ongoing. And we are not hearing the Children Authority coming out with any new plan, any new strategy. We're not hearing they keep in meeting. But hey, watchman. Sometimes I wonder if they exist in our country. Because the amount of children going missing, the amount of children being murdered, the amount of children being raped, the amount of children going missing also. Where is the head of child protection? Do they visit homes? Where's the head of the Children Authority? Where are the heads? It's only when it happens home, then you will hear them coming out and talking about this and talking about that and talking about the next. Trinidad and Tobago, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, Real Talk Financing, they want to encourage you, open a fixed deposit with us. Open a fixed deposit and make money. Until we see you again, viewers, good night.